Yeah, I had some time off. Really, just rested for a while. Definitely maybe overdid it days 1 and 2, but glad to have been a part of it. Unfortunately, I tried to power through, but it might have been a bad call. But
Uh,
I'm happy to do it now. Feeling much better. Happy American Independence Day. Well, but yeah, how have you been?
yeah, all great. I'm super glad to have you. It's no big deal that we're casting the replays. It's really like, thankfully Warcraft has this feature, so it's very, appropriate and fitting. So no big deal. No real loss. I had some fun with Ally, with the Kazakh guy with whom I've co-casted, and now we can do some catching up. A couple of more boring games we'll skip for now, and maybe we'll return to casting them later if we feel like it.
That sounds good. Now your voice is sounding a little raspy.
No, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm
Okay,
just,
good to hear it.
I just need some practice, and yeah, my accent will get ever so slightly better. And
Oh no! Your accent is you speak wonderful English. I just you sounded a little under the weather, but maybe it was
no. Everything's fine.
just my perception, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. No worries, no worries. Healthy as a bull, as they say. So
Glad to hear it. So here
yeah,
we have Inspired and Cement. Their first game looks like they've got Dark Elves versus Dogs of War.
yeah. Cool. You can unpause the stream, and I'll do the same thing. I mean, unpause the recording. Just press the R button so that the replay timer is no longer visible.
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Did you ever watch Cowboy Bebop?
I have seen in all of my life. I've seen, I think, like 5 anime, and Cowboy Bebop is one of those 5. Yes,
Yeah,
I
well,
actually.
that's one to watch, for sure.
Uh, but you mean the like? Is there a new series that came out or something?
Oh no, I was talking about the classic. I wasn't a super
Yeah,
big fan of the live action, to be honest with you, but that's just me.
yeah, yeah. Classic is again one of the few things that I have seen. So yeah, I remember they had this. They had this weird guy who was like androgynous.
Yeah,
Unclear if he's a
Ed.
girl or a woman. Well, yeah, and yeah, I
Ed
don't
was a
remember much
girl.
of the plot, but it was a girl after all. Okay, after 20 years, I now know. Okay, I wasn't. It wasn't that long ago that I watched it. Maybe like 14 or something. Okay, cool. We have. Let me maybe introduce the game a little bit. So
Yes.
this is, I think, loser bracket semifinals or something, depending on how you count it. And it's Cement versus Inspired, one of the two best players. Definitely the players who play the most, alongside Frostbitten. Inspired, as always, gets his congratulations for winning the first Eternal Strife tournament. In the games that he plays, I feel like there is some random chance that gives him more, but maybe it's just my misperception. Um, so Inspired is playing Dogs of War, the last patch on which um, the Wizard Caliph will be so oppressive, because in the following patch he's nerfed quite heavily. Cement is playing Dark Elves, who are very strong this patch, especially the Corsair spec, and we shall see how it goes. Like, two great opponents, interesting matchup. We don't see much Dark Elves. We do see quite a lot of Dogs of War, but at least we see different sub-factions. And yeah.
Yeah, this is a rematch of the most recent Fast Cup finale as well, in which Inspired took it from Cement. But then recently, Cement took a series off Inspired. So, very evenly matched, I would say. Opponents play against each other quite often, know each
Yeah.
other's tricks pretty well, and have some pretty good tricks of their own. So we'll see what
Yeah.
if they bring out anything new, or how they decide to play this one.
Yeah, totally. They had they were playing one another in the first round of this cup, and so Inspired went to loser brackets for it because Cement won, and now Cement has lost to Razermoon, actually, quite the underdog, to be honest, in the game, but managed the veteran Cement, and now Cement is in lower bracket semi-final, lower bracket final, however you want to count it. I actually always called lower bracket final and called the next round considers final, but this is not standard notation.
Yeah. Call it what you will. The second tier, however you wanted to do it. But yeah.
Ready for action.
Both players grouping.
Fleet Master,
So,
yeah.
yeah, and from reinforcement we have. We're going to be calling him reinforcement or cement interchangeably. So we have the Corsair spec with the Corsair hero, and the beloved Wizard Caliph from Inspired. Unfortunately, this is a patch where Dark Elves have to follow certain rules so as to not be tremendously overpowered. You cannot expand until you build 2 storages. So right now, Cement is building a storage at the place of the green creep camp, and this is because otherwise he wouldn't be able to mine. And while he's doing that, he's harassing Inspired's main base and forces a TP.
And uses the speed burst and visibility to go both in and out. Gets the Warrid right next to his gold mine.
Yeah, some very nice plays.
Inspired kind of figured he might have split his army, it seems like, left a few units home to defend while sending the Wizard Caliph out.
Yeah, we shall see if the expo is going to be cancelled. Probably not. Dogs of War have very strong power build, but the three spearmen and 1 corsair are doing the harassment. And yes, it does finish, but unclear how much. Yeah, unclear how much of use this gold mine will be, because very decent harass. We see 4 cursed skeletons, so 4 workers went down. Cement could be a bit more aggressive with these raids, because originally this hero had a separate spell to nuke buildings in place of his Riptide, but then I switched it and merged 2 spells into 1, and so raid, whenever a hero uses raid, in addition to the usual effects of speed burst and invisibility, if the hero attacks a building, the building gets damaged and stunned.
Interesting.
So, whenever he casts raid to just engage or disengage, he can easily, with at no additional cost, just nuke a building. So but this works only if the first unit that he attacks is a building. So, for example, right now he begins attacking peons straight away. He could have just harassed,
Building.
some buildings to make Inspired. Yeah, to make Inspired a bit nervous.
Tents do go down quite easily. Only medium armor and 250 life, so.
Yeah. But now a counter harass from Inspired. To be honest, I'm not super happy about the fact that this is so meta. Like, almost all games we see some, worker harass. Somehow it doesn't happen as often in normal Warcraft for whichever reason. Maybe the players have settled on all of the strategies and these harasses are like less efficient. But yeah, here
some of the races can't defend each, I don't know, the defensive mechanics are just different, I guess, for each race, right?
I'm honestly not sure why it happens. So
it's hard to press into the undead base because of the Nerubian towers, and fighting on Blight gives them extra regen.
I think maybe all of races are kind of like humans here.
Yes.
And humans are the most harassable.
And they don't have arcane towers to punish harassing, essentially. That's a big thing, is the militia and arcane. But, dogs don't even get militia. Their workers have to die to get their militia, right? So it makes them more susceptible.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed, actually, one slave was freed, but it was... I catched it at the very end. The
slave was freed? What does that mean?
Yeah. If once he finished building the expo, come on, free those 2 slaves as well. They're under the aura. He can free them on the second time. Okay.
How does that?
You can right-click workers if there are.
Oh, there he goes. Yes. Now he has 2 elf slaves.
No, they just run off into the wilds.
And then they die. Okay, they not die, but they disappear.
Yeah, they disappear into the ether. So,
they go back to their home plane.
Yes. They go back to their home,
into
to
the
their
warp.
wife and kids. Yeah. And it gives a hero 10 XP if he does that. You can also free with any other
very
unit,
cool.
but it won't give XP. And so both expansions
Trading,
getting harassed.
yeah.
Yeah.
At least gets the cancel on the storage. He's gonna send another, well, the same slave master. Yeah, quite a few dread spears. Level advantage. Wizard Cleave out of mana.
Yeah, and out of clarity potions.
He's got TP still. No, he doesn't. That was the other guy. Wizard Cleave looks like he's gonna go down for sure. Yeah, level 5.
Yeah,
Going over to
nothing.
the Corset Fleet Master.
Those slave nets are very oppressive this patch. They have been nerfed just a few days ago, for the game after the game was played already. So they now last, instead of 1 second on heroes, like 0.2 seconds, but everything else is the same. So it's probably gonna still be a strong spell, a strong strat, but not as oppressive.
Yeah, not like mini raiders.
Yeah.
Tier 1 raid or tier 2. We need to get Nets is a tier 2 upgrade still. You can
It's
just
a
have
tier upgrade, yeah.
you can have a bunch of them out already and then just upgrade it.
True. So, Sorcerer's Tower doing some damage. You can also summon a Medusa from it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, very lore accurate. I'm not tremendously sure how usable it is, but very lore accurate at least.
Our forces are under attack.
Storage now up. He's mining with
Yeah.
the slaves.
Yeah, if those two Arabian workers would sneak out there, they could free all of the
That's what
slaves.
he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing.
I actually missed it the first time around. Yeah, props to Inspired for knowing this trick. If there was a slave pit or a slave master nearby, this would not have worked. And also it never works on the main. Like within like some range of the starting location, even if there's nothing there, no buildings, no units, still like the workers are too demoralized there, so they love their chains.
They're too afraid to escape so close to the
Yeah, starting
prime
location.
base. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Fleet Master, meanwhile, almost level 6.
Yes. Very close.
And Wizard Caliph is only level 3. 3.5, and now it's gonna be tough to hold this.
4. Oh, excuse me.
And, but
There
the
it
tower
is.
is taking the damage.
That's a pretty good flame strike. Inferno.
Yeah.
And he's able to chug some wine.
Whoa, but the Riptide in response also kills a lot of units.
Gets too close, but uses the Sandstorm Elemental. The slow's helping him out. A little bit of mischance, helping him out. Cement is able to do a slow hold.
Yeah. So to whoever's unfamiliar, the reason that the Wizard Caliph is missing is because he drank some blessed wine, which regenerates mana, and gives you a mischance for the duration. But on the bright side, it does not dispel on being attacked, which is normally the case with Clarity Potions.
Indeed. It's a very battle-oriented move.
Okay, so one more Arabian worker. Again, going to the expansion, maybe thinking that it's not protected by Slave Master, but it is. So he
He's
runs
learned
right
his
in.
lesson.
Yeah. Runs right in,
And
tries to
slave master.
harass the Slave Master, but yeah, no.
Comes in with some more invisible harass, just as Inspired tries to get something done. And now he's got the ability you mentioned.
Yeah, to harass the tower.
He tried to repair, but gotta remember to hit R. Can't
Yeah,
just right click it.
To be honest, maybe he wanted to shelter them as well.
Oh, because
give
they
them
dodged
seconds.
a wave, maybe.
Yeah. The Corsairs are oppressive. This is exactly how you would expect this matchup to play in lore, you know, just some mean Dark Elven raid, you know, run in, kill workers, have slaves. So, yeah, very, very lore accurate stuff. I'm happy about that. The poor Arabians trying to get up something. And interesting to see that Inspired apparently wants to gamble a little bit, so
Live to serve.
trains a man-eater battle master who has some randomly generated abilities.
Forces are under attack.
He's feeling maybe a little.
Rolls.
What did he get? Serpent
So far
strike.
nothing.
Oh, he got
yeah. The
the
serpent
jungle
strike,
serpents.
Yeah, jungle serpents from War Chief, from Listening War Chief. A spell very close to all of our cards.
Yeah.
Can be very oppressive versus creeps, less oppressive versus piercing, and you know, walking XP tomes if you have, if your opponent has Dispel Scroll.
Yes. What's his second ability, I wonder? Leaves the Hellstone on the ground. Oh,
Our forces are under attack.
Again,
the nets.
with Caliph getting oppressed.
Burn, just put it on yourself. Deny yourself.
The second ability of the Man-Eater is Wood Elven.
Entangle.
What's it called? Well,
Gets
I was
oh,
trying to
it
remember.
goes down. That's gotta be game.
yeah, very interesting mechanic with the ultimate that they nuke buildings whenever they attack. I think I've lingered just a little bit to see like what he does with the base. You know, this destruction is because of the ultimate of Fleet Master. You know, buildings getting nuked and in general everything having so much damage. So yeah, impressive performance from Cement. Yeah.
Well, let's check out game 2.
Yep. I sent you 2 replays because obviously it can't be less than 2 replays, but I'm not gonna say who won, so maybe there is a game 3, maybe there is not. We shall see.
Okay, good. I was worried for a second.
No. I'm like, I can do everything properly this time. Thankfully, there are too many games, so it's hard to keep track of everything.
Nah, yeah, honestly, when there was more games than I expected there would be. Honestly, at first, so maybe I've never, that was my first tournament really participating in as a caster, or in any capacity. Let's get this Fog of War off. So we've got High Elves or Wood Elves. I mean from Cement and Dogs of War. Wait, hold on. You're not ready yet, I'm sure.
No, it's fine. I'll catch up.
Yeah, I paused it.
Oh, you. Okay, well, yeah, you can
restart.
pause. No, you definitely don't have to restart.
No, I want to restart because I didn't have Fog of War off right away, so I didn't see what Cement was doing for a while. I was kind of fumbling around a little bit, so I just we're just gonna restart. So so I'm ready to go whenever you are now.
Yeah, I am ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. That's the only reason why I brought up Cowboy Bebop, because that was part of the intro. It's always stuck with me ever since I was a kid. I loved all the jazz in that show, all the music.
I'm trying to recall what the intro was. Were they doing something?
I'll send you it. It was just a jazz clip with just like smash cuts basically.
Okay.
The song was pretty good.
I don't remember all too much about the plot. I remember there was this funny moment in the beginning, which is how they get the plot rolling. That this young lady, the protagonist, she's supposed to get an inheritance from like her mother, and she's like excited to get a lot of money or something, but then it turns out that she inherits a lot of debt, and so she has to do some crazy stuff to get out of it or something. This is about as much as I remember.
I think that's a different show. I don't remember that happening in Cowboy Bebop at all.
I think that's Cowboy Bebop, but maybe it wasn't like key to the plot. Maybe it's like one random episode or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because yeah. I don't know, but it's interesting to check. Maybe
Yeah, I
I,
haven't
'cause
watched it in a
I
while
remember
either.
I remember it very vividly, but
Okay.
it would be funny if my memory is wrong because memory is notoriously unreliable.
This is true,
Like
and like it'd be funny if I was wrong. Now I feel like I want to rewatch the show now. Probably it's been years since I watched it. It's what
yeah.
it-
Okay,
you know?
so
Go ahead.
returning to the game. But that's okay. We can talk, some random stuff in between games. That's fine. I mean, in the beginning of the games, because in the first 1 minute,
2
normally
minutes,
not much
yeah,
happening.
and everything.
Yeah.
Heroes aren't
So-
out. See the Tree Man Elder coming out. Barracks starting training archers, as Wood Elves love their archers, of course. Shop right off the bat from both players. Wizard Cleef, Arabies.
Yeah, Inspired is trying again with the Wizard Khalif, whereas Cement is the only player on this tournament who plays Wood Elves, and it's a bit of a shame. It's a very interesting faction. I enjoyed making it, and I enjoyed making all of the factions, but still this one is particularly. I guess I'm particularly fond of it. I think I've done
Yeah.
a quite good job with the Arthur Loren mechanics and all the rest of it. But yeah,
Having the
Cement
wisps
plays-
around to boost your spells and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. And the turning the wisps into trees. I like the wisp mechanics, honestly. It's
Yeah.
my buddy's favorite race. He just tries to go tree man, and he's always very sad when they don't do well. But I told him you buffed them, so we're gonna have to download the new patch and play.
Yeah, Dryads are buffed a lot because right now they're really overpriced and underpowered. I don't think I have particularly buffed Treeman, but at least, the hero is playable, so that is something, I suppose.
Yeah.
Both players creeping the near creep camp. Cement
going to
went
their
quite the way
expansion.
the tree spec. I think he enjoys doing it because he can expand more easily with the Tree of Seasons.
Yeah.
And because he gets a bit more lumber, like 1/5 as much lumber if you do the upgrade, the investment upgrade earlier.
It's my friend's favorite strat, too.
Yeah.
Well, next patch, consider giving tree men a time, ancient tree men a time to shine.
Yeah, but it's just that, like, we never had enough time and playtesters to play them, so I'm not sure if they're
Okay,
overpowered
fair
or
enough.
underpowered. Yeah, I could look at the values and just decide myself, but we need a bit more playtesting. Cement always goes for war dances later on, so
Yeah, it just goes ward answers anyway.
uh,
Sticks
Okay,
to
so-
the elf units.
yeah. But the wood elf hero though, the wooden
It's true.
hero.
He's a very cool hero. Entangle, Shockwave.
Yeah, he also
Bit
has
of
a
a
nice.
jack.
Yeah, he has a nice heal, which is 3 times as strong if you heal until Loren Aura.
The
Which
Wisps
is-
aura.
Yeah.
So if you kill the Wisp trees with Flame Strike, does that damage the Wisp as well?
Our forces are under attack.
You mean the? No, it shouldn't because it's a single instance of damage.
It's not like Carrion
Shockwave.
Swarm or Shockwave.
No, because Shockwave
Job done.
is a traveling wave that affects AoE like as it travels repeatedly. So it can damage 2 units if it thinks that these are 2 different units.
Under attack.
And
Okay.
this
Ah, I
Inferno-
see. Okay, right.
Inferno is coded as a single instance. So regardless how quickly a unit appears, it's not gonna register because only the initial damage tick is registered.
Interesting. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I wish to be honest, shockwaves wouldn't damage stuff, but it's a blizzard spell, so I can't really tweak it.
Right, it's just you use it's the same interaction with Hydras, right? The Hydra ability.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe
In
yeah.
normal Warcraft 3, if you shockwave a Hydra into killing it, the 2 Hydralings that it spawns will get damaged.
And that's how you coded the
Forces are under
Treant,
attack.
the Wisp into Treant ability. So apparently it kills the Wisp, creates a Treant with a timed life, and then when the Treant dies, it spawns a Wisp again? Is that how it works?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Very
it's a
cool.
Okay, so the tree is getting caught and
Oh, good body blocking. Has to TP. He's gonna flame strike. He's gonna go probably for those juicy elf workers, or he's gonna try to get the hero. Nah, pulls back, goes for the archers.
Inspired quite aggressive this game, and it pays off. Wood elves are really vulnerable. They need a critical mass of Trikin, maybe some towers. Yeah, and the hero right now is damaged. He has no ways of healing himself up.
Oh, takes out 2 archers, nearly takes out a third. It's gonna go down surely.
Yeah.
Treeman extra vulnerable right now. That archer's probably gonna get taken out, but no, he's gonna keep going for the elder.
Yeah. The
At least
Treeman died.
Getting the okay. Treeman does go down.
Yeah, he dived deep inside his base, but that didn't help him, and so he went down. And
Sacrifices some Arabians, but honestly, it looks like the tower got a couple of the kills, so it denies the experience. And
Inspired's Expo is up, so either Cement didn't play it tremendously well, or Wood Elves are just playing, you know, weak early game, and so you have to be creative with how you play versus fast expand. Because right now Inspired managed to do everything he wanted. He had the Expo up, he harassed, he prevented an opponent's Expo. So Wood Elves take quite a long time to, you know, gear themselves up. Yeah, this did not work well for Cement at all, whereas it worked spectacularly well for Inspired. He's firmly in the driver's seat.
absolutely. Cement does have about a K in the bank though at this moment. 1K and 650, so plenty of resources to do something with.
Yeah, and
He's gonna try to do some wisp harass.
maybe a little bit demoralized because this is the last thing that he needs to not be producing units, whereas he's clearly, you know, down and needs an army to.
Only now just starts making double archer.
Yeah. I also kind of maybe next patch, or just in general sometime in the future, I can update the hero respawn times, because Blizzard has used the same respawn times for 20 years, and just like 1 year ago they made them a little bit less oppressive so that level 3 heroes don't take 170 seconds to go out of the altar. Right now they do, I think, like at least it's like 99 seconds, so at least 8 seconds less for level 3 hero. Takes an eternity, and the altar goes down, and Cement tries to G.
Forces are under attack.
And we go to game 3.
Yep, which I have cleverly not sent you because I didn't want to spoil it whether it's going to be 2 or 3 games.
Very cool. I appreciate that. Alright, I'm ready whenever you are.
Yeah, I will have to apologize because I didn't notice that it didn't begin loading because I misclicked. But that's
No
okay.
worries.
I can do some talking. So this is gonna be Cement returning to Dark Elves, whereas Inspired is gone, none other
Vampire.
than the vampires. The altars look the same, but that's okay, no big deal. Altar of Cain and Altar of Nagash. I just saved some, you know, 70 kilobytes worth of data. I don't really think I had a decent model, but that's okay. To be honest, actually, the stream delay is super minimal on Twitch. Maybe I'm better off just commenting off of what I see on Twitch, because in the past 2 games, no matter how hard I tried, like I could never get it in sync. So maybe I just shouldn't bother and just, you know, comment whatever I see. Like,
It's nice to have 2 eyes on the map in different spots, though, I will say.
That is true. That is true. You know what?
Whatever
Yeah,
you want
I'm
to
good.
do, though.
Yeah. I'll try like this 1 game, and then next time I'm gonna
Research complete.
comment from game again. I always get confused because right now on your screen you are red and blue, which is the correct colors, but my computer, due to a Warcraft 3 Champions bug, would have displayed red as yellow
Yeah.
and blue as purple.
Well, interesting.
Yeah, it's the man in his base, and I told it to him afterwards. He makes a slight mistake that adds up over time. He doesn't patrol the slave masters. That's why his workers oftentimes get
Die.
outside the range of the aura. If you just patrol them, the way it works in Warcraft 3 is that it takes 2 seconds for an aura to dissipate.
Fall off, right?
Yeah, so if in those 2 seconds you get re-affected by the aura, it never falls off. That's why you can safely patrol, in at least a 2 second interval,
Job done.
and this adds the range quite dramatically to the aura. If you stand still, you lose the aura, and it takes at least half a second to re-affect you when you go back inside range. Just some a little bit of a mechanical interaction in Warcraft. So not tremendously efficient for Cement, but he'll get better over time. Next patch he'll be on point, and it will be also so convenient for everyone to finally play the Dark Elves without the rule against fast expansions and fast tier
Right.
3. So everyone can play however they want.
That's always nice to be able to do.
Our forces are
Yeah,
under
Cement again
attack.
went the Corsair spec, whereas Inspired has gone.
Von Karstein.
Yep. The Bloody Talisman, which grants the bearer +2 to all attributes, is
Recircle it.
giveaway. Yeah. There are also sadly some rules against Von Karstein, so players playing the most OP stuff, even despite there being rules.
Still going for it. Not pulling any punches. Oh, he kills the turret. Or maybe that was a cancel.
Yeah, hard to say. And the Skeleton Militia, something which is very familiar to Inspired, who's a human main in normal
Mhm.
Warcraft, one of the best humans in Europe.
Love
He's
watching Inspired
militia.
play human.
Yeah, his militia, paces away the undead invaders, and he's gonna gather some of the corpses. I kind of wish corpses were a bigger deal.
Me
with
too.
Undead. Yeah, to be honest, you can play without using this mechanic at all. Many strats don't involve it, and it doesn't give you that much of an advantage as I hoped it would. And it takes quite a long time to micro properly, especially if you get the corpses with skeletons. But it
Can make their
it's
upgrades
there.
cheaper.
It's there, yeah.
Since they
yeah,
cost mana, which you only get through corpses.
Yeah.
And they do
I don't
heal you. You do heal your units. But you have to have like a barracks or something like that to be able to
Yeah.
benefit from.
Yeah, I did make the barracks units, like all of the barracks units in the following patch, have -1 level, so it means that they give less XP.
Oh.
So because right now no one ever builds barracks, they cost a lot
Yeah.
of. They produce are not that good. They are quite good on paper, but they come out with half HP unless there are corpses eaten by the barracks, and eating corpses is just not worth the APM basically. Like not even the best players can, always have workers, following the heroes and then gathering.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. It's all too hard. It's too big of an investment. Like it's too demanding for not that big of a benefit. So everyone just ignores and goes. Basically
Job
with
done.
summons,
Great.
the way Inspired does now. So he runs in and harasses the poor slave masters.
You did see Irenicos day one trying to, I think it's a slow poison on him with the summon ghoul, the crypt ghoul.
To be honest, it's just a health thing though. It only takes down her health, doesn't slow her.
Oh,
It
it's
would've been
okay.
a
It's
little
just
bit
it's didn't realize.
Yeah, that's fine. The animation is not perfect on my part.
You
Yeah.
could just give them regular poison. Yeah.
Yeah, skeleton brutes attacking the
The
storage.
storage
will be
going
little
down.
bit-
It's going down. Is surely cannot. Oh man. Well, he's
Yeah,
got
this
the second
corrupt-
storage far away, so it is possible for him to mine. But it looks like he's gonna be losing lots of his. Gets the surround, but forces
Yeah,
a
he was
TP. But the damage is done.
Yeah, this was an excellent caress, and this is what I was talking about before. Unfortunately, in my mod, somehow, I did have this mechanic about towers being cheaper and stronger and having the ability to shelter, but somehow it doesn't feel like it's doing much. Like despite everything, it's you know, still a very efficient strat to just go out and harass. So a little bit sad
Job done.
that the players employ it over and over again. Can get
Research.
ever so slightly repetitive, but that's okay. We'll address it eventually, maybe in some later patches. I don't know.
You can talk
Make it relevant
to,
or
you know, I'm sure there's
Upgrade.
yeah, I'm sure that the players have like, I'm sure that like Dice and Shaq and Inspired would all have suggestions about how to.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe make workers tougher or something. I don't know. We'll think about it. So far, it's kind of like Warcraft, except all races are human. So, as a player who plays Farseer Headhunters, whenever I play Leather, which is to say not much these days at all, to put it very mildly, but still, whenever I would play humans, it's so satisfying to just run in against some guy, against a fellow noob like myself, to just run into his base, summon the wolves, and you know, shift A click all of the workers and
Yeah.
not have to react because they're all slow noobs.
No
as-
arcane tower or.
Yeah, and just everything dies. A surround on the...
Eventually survives though. Goes Howl, I think, just to tank from so much. Honestly,
Yeah,
if you go Howl and the lifesteal ability, he becomes pretty tanky.
Totally. So yeah, very well played by Inspired. So it was a nice surround by Cement, but an even better counterplay. He howled in time and he healed him with a necrotic wave in time.
And then I think he had a potion as well, perhaps. Or does the Howl heal you on Blight? Because it was the same time as the Howl.
I think, yeah, that may be the case. I'm not sure. I think it restores mana, but maybe it heals you. That's true. I don't remember. I always go passive and Dark Wave thing. So I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, I forget. I was going Howl lifesteal at first for against some folks just because he could actually survive that way and be kind of deceptively and actually do decent DPS because the life drain, you know, is a DOT as well as a whatchamacallit.
Yeah, it both heals you and damages the opponent. Like it boosts
Yes.
your DPS.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by whatchamacallit. It's a heal as well as a DOT. Damage
yeah,
over time. It's a rejuvenate with the barrel mounted DOT. Reversed
Yeah, and-
rejuvenate.
Yeah. The other ability, by the way, the one that affects the enemy, is also rejuvenate, but it just has negative damage, like negative values, which
Right.
damages you. So it's not affected by any of the spell resistances. And
Wow,
also,
that's true damage.
yeah, it's HP removal to be precise, and also since it's HP removal, it doesn't recognize a valid healer. So if the damage tick kills you,
Job done.
the
Job
opponent
No
done.
vampire
experience.
player doesn't get experience. Yeah,
Interesting.
I realized it way too late. Otherwise, maybe I would have based it off of a different ability. But right now, I'm probably not
Not
committed
gonna mess
enough.
with that, yeah.
Yeah, I would avoid doing it in the near future. Maybe sometime in the distant future, I'll fix, you know, quote unquote bugs of this caliber, but not right now.
There's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, totally.
Upgrade complete.
I am excited because on July the 15th, which is as of right now 10 days from now, so July 15th, 2024 is going to be the 10th anniversary of me uploading my map on Hive Workshop. So I kind of want to
Awesome.
release the patch. Yeah, I want to release the patch on this date. Over the past several months and years, I kind of am more and more talking about the day when I began first making the mod, which was 3 years before that. It's like April 2011. So, but especially initially, I was considering always this date, 15th of July, like the date on which I celebrate the birthday of the mod. But anyway, there's going to be a patch on this date, and I want it to be a good patch. That's why we are doing this PTR thing these days. So we have 10 days to playtest. If we have some hotfixes, I will hotfix them, because last time I released a patch and immediately said, okay, this is the patch on which season 1 is going to be played, and I was quite disappointed because I had a couple of silly oversights. like high elven spell Shield of Zephyr was it called not working, and also Empire had this weird bug where they could accidentally make transform all of their farms into town halls of Britonia, although no one ever played it. But
Okay.
several people reported it. So yeah, I had a couple of silly oversights. So this time I want it to, like, I am thinking to myself that I'm gonna leave myself some time to hotfix issues, and so far no issues have been found. But this is mostly because we didn't playtest too much, or maybe because I was super attentive when making everything. So we'll see how it goes. The players in this pause that they had right now, they have asked me actually a couple of things about the rules because both of them have rules right now. So it was really cute that they both asked me like to clarify how the rules work. It was like a real pleasure for me because they were taking it so seriously that they didn't want to mess up. That was nice. But in the meantime, banshees are being trained, and this patch they are quite overpowered, to put it a bit mildly, because they're only a tier 2 unit. So Inspired already has 4 of them, and they howl for 20 seconds, and every second they deal 30 damage to any unit nearby, 20 damage to units farther away, and 10 damage per second to units yet farther than them. So the only counterplay basically is to target them with magical damage, but they have 400 HP. They take like 100% extra damage from magic attacks, but still it's like if
Forces are under
Cement
attack.
is going to be able to hit them with Riptide, I think he can maybe hold his line. But in general, at this stage of the game, this Banshee push is extremely dominant. Because unfortunately the unit is slightly overpowered, and it's not even tier 3. Although Inspired does have tier 3 right now. The reason I'm saying that it's tier 3 is because in the next patch, which is already out,
Research complete.
this hull requires a tier 3 upgrade Chill Grasp, which
Jobs
also
forces
affects
are under
Wraiths.
attack.
Not a popular unit for whichever reason. Probably because, magic attacks, magic melee attacks are quite shit, which is something which I didn't realize until recently. Okay, so Inspired is creeping and is forced to TP back home, and to be honest, I don't fancy the chances of this Dark Elven army. The Banshees are going to be oppressive, although they do take insanely high damage from the Lightning Shield, but the heal wave gets them all back into good shape. And so a siege commences, unfortunately missed the Riptide against the Banshees, and now the Banshees begin to howl, and Cement just TPs out, but not before all of his army takes massive scream damage. This is one of the most powerful abilities in the game. Definitely it shouldn't be like tier 2 thing. So yeah, next patch Banshees are like 25% more expensive or something, so like from 250 to 340 or something, the gold cost went up, and again tier 3 Howl is only available.
Pretty big nerfs.
Yeah, I hope it's enough. In some situations, Banshees are gonna absolutely shred everything still, I'm sure, because you can so easily walk them through terrain.
Right.
This is maybe another, like, a little bit imba mechanic. Also, you can, place them somewhere in impossible terrain and have them howl, which is really a little bit anti-fun, I would say, to play against, because you can't even do much versus a Banshee that is screaming somewhere, from the tree line.
From the middle of the woods.
Yeah, and also like they have medium armor and they take slightly less damage from piercing, if I recall correctly. So the only way to focus them, unless you have spells, is to focus them down with ranged attacks, so piercing damage. But they take so little damage from piercing, so yeah, it's probably quite the anti-fun unit. I'm not sure I nerfed them enough, but I nerfed them at least somewhat. And the first.
Yes, finally the Van Karstein Vampire being made. Also making Wraiths. The unit you just said, very underused.
No, it's Spirits.
Spirits, Spirits. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not Wraiths. Wraiths are also cool, but whenever makes them, maybe they cost too much.
Wraiths, they have the grip ability. They have the stun ability, right? They can.
Yeah, they also have stun.
I used to build them a lot. I just think they're key.
I think they can be quite good, but not as good as Banshees. So these screams just melt everything.
It's very
And
true.
here come the Thunderbolts, speaking of distance. The Doom Bolts from the heroes, but Inspired kills in time. And then pops the Inbolt.
And another round detonates. He's getting off the summons. He's now level 5, which means he can make a second Von Karstein vampire when this guy's around. Spirits,
Yeah.
they're detectors, huh? They're basically like shades.
No, they also deal magical damage, but they are ranged and they can move through terrain. They're kind of like Banshees, but without the howl. And if only... I wonder if you can hear thunder in my microphone, because actually it's a bit of a thunderstorm. Right
No,
now.
not quite.
Yeah, I am seeing lightning flashes like from time to time as I'm speaking to you, which is kind of cool.
Our forces are under attack.
If only Cement were using the Doom Bolts versus the Banshees. Unfortunately, he does not. And
Doom Bolts is it's a passive attack upgrade.
it's what he used with the Dark Sorceresses to try and focus the.
The stuns, yes.
And he didn't manage to kill him anyway.
Right.
So it was completely wasted. To be honest, if he just Doom Bolted all of the Banshees, I think it's like one Doom Bolt, one dead Banshee, although I may be wrong. I may be wrong, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the damage values are, but it's definitely something worth doing. Also, the same thing can be said about Corsair nets in this spec. You see how much damage the Shockwave has done?
Yeah, didn't really kills them in a single hit. Yeah, good.
It's their kryptonite, the magical damage. Although, as I said, they're pretty bulky, so it's like 440 HP. Still quite the OP unit, and they're really cheap, and they're very strong at tier 2. Next patch, it's all gonna be addressed. They're gonna be probably still very strong, but least expensive, and will require a lot of, building up. Inspired has 1500 gold, but he's firmly in control. Like
And he's got a Van Karsten, so actually having 1500 gold powers you up at this point.
Oh yeah, that's actually a very nice observation. With Von Karsten vampires. The reasoning is kinda the following when I made the spell. Is like, since, those Vampire Coast dudes are kinda like pirates, they're like, okay, if there's a lot of, booty to be had, if our patron, if the one who's hiring us is super rich, we're likely to fight for him. If he doesn't have much gold, we won't bother. So that's
They're
why
kind of rival factions, right? Otherwise, unless their gold's good, right? Like they're not natural allies just because they're vampires in the lore, right?
Yeah, vampires are mistrusting of one another. So yeah, if you have 1500 gold and you tap the spell, it summons a Vampire Coast Galleon, which is a really cool unit, which will have an even cooler model next patch. Although I think this one is plenty cool. But
This is pretty awesome. But you're upgrading, giving it a better, bigger glow up.
It's gonna be even better, yeah, if you can believe it.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So next patch we'll see Von Karsten vampires, the higher ones, are gonna get nerfed. I'm not sure if I nerfed them enough because to be honest they're super oppressive. It was just basically an all-round nerf, so the summons are a bit weaker. They're a bit
Lower devotion aura, right?
Yeah, like worse DPS, less HP. But it's all like it's like minor nerfs over 5 different aspects. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Cool that Cement uses the aerial snare, which is available to Dark Elven Towers if you purchase it for like 50 gold or something. I think it's the same mechanic as with the mercenary wizard, mercenary crossbowman. Although maybe they're always there available. Maybe that's the case, and it just needs the ensnare research.
Oh, you saw that Vampire Coast shot, Galleon shot, just took out a good chunk of these ladies and nearly killed 2 more.
Yeah, it would have been
Dark
cool if
Sorceresses.
Inspired. Yeah, if it would have been cool for Inspired to do some treasure hunting, because that's also possible. You just pay, I believe, 100 gold, and an item, a random item appears somewhere on the map, and you are pinged its location. Whereas the enemy can still obtain the item if he finds it, but the location is not there.
Seeing some good focus on the Van Karstein Vampire, and the ult from the yeah, but the Banshee's coming in, supporting everything. The Van Karstein's got his heal going on himself. Second one joins the fray.
Yeah, Cement has just doom bolted 2 of the Banshees, and that's true. They die in 1 hit, even if they have full HP.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know. You see many Dark Sorceresses going down. Cement's trying to go back in. Level 7, no joke. But zombie dragons. Yep. Gold mine goes down for Cement, and the expansion has fallen. Well, Inspired was still mining, so he quits. Calls it.
Yeah. Excellent game by Inspired. Although, one could argue that it's, slightly used the OP strat, so to say. But, it's finders keepers. Okay, so let me send to you a couple more nice games. So the one I wanted to cast was this one, I believe. So it's number 71. And I'm gonna send you 2 replays as I always do. And it's gonna be winner bracket finals. So the players who have won 2 games before, 2-0, before coming to this game. By the way, be careful. The first one, it's sent it in the backwards order. So it's like 71A is the second one. So it's Frostbitten versus Razermoon.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and launch it as well. So my PC is a little bit slow, so wait for a little bit for me.
Yeah, no
but
worries.
That's okay. Since I have the races written down, I would be able to introduce the races. The Razermoon, I will introduce the players in the meantime. Razermoon is one of the best players in North America. So I think the best one is Hunter. No, wait, Hunter is from Peru. The best player is what's his name? Hitman, the American orc. And I think Razermoon is maybe the second best player in the USA. So he plays Night Elf. A very good player. Has been to Rarland last time. He's gonna come again.
Very cool.
And Frostbitten. Frostbitten is not a prominent player himself, but he loves the custom maps. And my mod he has studied a lot. So he keeps practicing his strats, keeps finding things which are, undernerfed, and keeps using the strategies which may work, and still he has good micro. So we shall see how it goes. Now, so you are paused, right? So let me... Yeah, you can unpause. You can unpause. We're at the same page.
All right. Dogs of War from Frostbitten, and...
No. It's Bretonia from Frostbitten.
Oh, Bretonia from Frostbitten, and Dogs of War from Razermoon, of course. He's going to Pwn, as he likes to do.
Yep. So it's gonna be a different sub-faction. Dogs of War having 5 sub-factions. 4 of them human, 1 of them unfortunately Chaos Dwarfs. I ever so slightly dislike it after 3 years. 3 years since I've made it, I'm thinking to myself, damn, kinda doesn't fit. If it were only humans, it would have made ever so slightly more sense, but that's okay. The Far Eastern specialization coming from Razermoon. So he's gonna have us... He's gonna entertain us with some human Blade Master action called Sensei, whereas Frostbitten is going for the Bretonians. Build a second farmstead to have more villages early on. And the hero he's opting for is Paladin, and now he's summoned the Silver and Shimmer thing and has chosen the so-called Vow of Harmony, which I, in my mind, normally just call Albion spec, because, as it says in the flavor text, Albion is somewhere near Bretonia, just English Channel away, so to speak. It's like it's only one strait. So some of the roaming pixies and truthsayers from this mystical island come to aid the Bretonians.
Very cool.
Work complete.
More nature-oriented specialization.
Yeah, yeah. I really wanted to have some Albion action in my mod because I think it's an underdeveloped faction in Warhammer. I originally thought I would give it to Dogs of War, but then I realized Dogs of War are already kind of full.
Oversaturated, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And it was just in time for me to realize that I can insert one Albion spec to Bretonia, and that would mostly make sense. It's not known if they are allies, because there's not that much lore about either Bretonia, to be honest, or let alone Albion. But I have taken some liberty with it, and it makes good sense if you think about it, even if it was nowhere stated in lore that they, are no ally with one another.
yeah, I didn't know any different. You know, works for me.
Yeah. So both players keep grouping their expansion. Nice usage of the Crusader from Frostbitten. Crusader having magical damage and dealing extra damage to heroes. Magical damage is useful versus these trolls and ogres because they have heavy armor. And two samurai spawned by Sensei. And so both players playing fast expansion.
Pass by each other,
Work complete.
undeterred by the presence of the other.
Yeah. Once again, the base harass from
Attack.
Sensei summons a samurai to kill the poor villagers, whereas in the meantime, two knight summons and their paladin trying to prevent the expansion from coming up. Frostbitten manages to hide the villagers inside the
Main.
yeah. Also
Good.
some lucky dodges by villagers. Bretonians, whenever they leave their production building, they can pray for up to 5 seconds, and if you don't interrupt it, which you can if you want to, have a unit slightly earlier, if it's not uninterrupted, the lady grants them a 15% evasion for the rest of the game.
Our town is under attack.
That's what that whole shtick is.
Yeah.
Ah, I was wondering how the prayer mechanic. And then you can pray afterwards if you cancel it early.
No. The only instance where you can pray afterwards is the way I have coded it, although it was ever so slightly lazy on my part, is at the start of the game, all of the units have the option to pray. So you can pray if you want. Oh no!
Oh, dies to the Vills. The Vills
Yeah.
chips him down, disrespected them, But these are Age of Empires villagers. They're frontiers people. They, use their tools for hunting and for defending themselves. They're not. Go for it.
It is 100% true that I have taken great inspiration from Age of Empires, which is a game that I loved when I was a kid, when designing Bretonia. So a lot of mechanics are very familiar. The fact that you can garrison into a town center, into towers, they have castles. Some of the research names are one for one taken from Age of Empires. And even some of the building costs are, I believe, taken from Age of Empires. I think like the cost of peasant barracks is the same as the cost of barracks in Age of Empires. So it's like 150 gold, 150 wood or something. Although I may be wrong. I think I tried to do it that way, but obviously sometimes it wouldn't work. It would be like too high, too low.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, I go for it.
When it works, Sure, there's some overlap. Plenty of room for overlap,
Yeah. This is, to be honest, the reason why Bretonians mine 8 gold initially, because I wanted to give them 2 mining upgrades.
Right, you mentioned. Oh yeah, well on stream before, but yeah, always happy to hear the details. And they have the Wonder strategy, which is also from Age of Empires, isn't that correct?
Yeah, totally.
Right. AoE 2
Uh,
specifically, right?
Yeah, exactly. I never played any other AoEs, so I only know AoE 2.
I played AoE 2 on my cousin's computer, but I had AoE 3. That was what
I heard, like, right now the tier 2 tech has started, and you can see it's exactly the same as Advanced to the Feudal Age. Uh,
Yeah. Age of
so,
Knights.
yeah. I have actually forgotten what I wanted to say, but that's okay.
Sorry.
Nah, that's fine. I think maybe I want to say that there are clerics in the Wonder spec as well.
Yep.
And they work
They
just like
take and they
monks
take
do.
the relics, right? They put relics in the sanctum, and they get cash for that. That's exactly that, right? It almost loses the sensei again, but he does get level 3. Tries to turn around. I'm surprised he doesn't try to bait him into a surround with his.
Ready for action.
Yep. Frostbitten is not having a good time in general, but he manages to hold. And Razermoon also has his expansion running, so the players have shown their teeth to one another, but mostly both of them have stabilized.
Ready for action. We're under attack.
Let's say the advantage that Frostbitten had a moment ago. Oh wait, Sensei saved by the timer. Quite honestly, if I have to say, that Crusader was not taking any crap from that
Yeah,
Sensei.
Crusader. I didn't have enough time to look at his level 2 because the hero is obviously level 3, so it's either Sensei or either the Crusader or the Paragon are leveled up. If it's Crusader, he packs quite the punch versus heroes.
Work complete.
On level 1 it's not much, it's only like 50% extra damage, but on level 2 it's like 3 times the extra damage if I recall correctly, so he's very oppressive versus heroes. This is how I would play it, to be honest, because I also like to go for the Albion spec. I just rush Granddads, the Truthsayers. This is something which Frostbitten doesn't do. He likes to add Knights into the mix. But I just, until I have Granddads, I try to make life for opponents' heroes just hard as hell, so that I have some time for myself. Judging by the fact that Crusader has plus 10 damage, yes, it is in fact Crusader.
Level 2.
Yeah. So if he right-clicks with the Crusader, the hero, the Sensei, is not gonna have a good time. And a castle is built and advancing to Age of Knights, Frostbitten.
Frostbitten does like playing around with his Grail Knights. Pretty good with them, I'd say.
That's true, although I believe the way he plays this strategy, if I recall the game versus Dice correctly, is he just built Granddads.
Granddads.
You can have one Granddad. Whenever I say Granddad, I mean Truthsayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can have one Grandad on tier 2, but he is not powerful.
See that Crusader starting to really put the hurt on that Sensei. Sensei quite fast.
Yeah, especially
got a
with
banner
banner
swiftness.
Yeah. Which is an actual name of an item from Warhammer, by the way. For those of you who are playing Total War Warhammer 3, or Total War Warhammer, whichever part, if any of you are listening by any chance, this is also an item, like a common item, which can be dropped, so helps a lot, for the battles. I would know because I played quite a lot of Total War Warhammer, so I'm trying to, whenever possible, use, Warhammer lore items.
Very cool. Probably the most fun part about it. Well, it's really what got me and my friend wrapped in it to begin with, was the lore connection.
Yeah,
puts him in a cage.
Yeah,
does he have TP? He's got a TP. Gonna have to TP out.
Marksman versus the Lord is our second hero of the battle. And so 2 Grail Sancta are getting up. I always found it amusing how in English you don't normally have irregular plural forms, but occasionally you do.
Mhm.
So, Latin. I'm gonna be a grammar Nazi and call it Sancta, not Sanctums.
There you go.
Yeah. My favorite word with irregular plural is phenomenon. How would you say phenomenon plural?
Phenomena.
Yeah, that's how you say it. You're
I
not
only know it
supposed
from
to say
philosophy.
phenomenon. Yeah. So do I, in fact.
Very cool.
Yeah. To be honest, I kind of dislike it. I wish it was all, in one fashion. But this is never how languages will work. Languages always evolve and stuff.
English is
So
such
that's
like
okay.
it's like a pigeon of like 6 different languages, I guess. So. Oh, I guess
Yeah.
the tent, despite the repairs.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating stuff, and I think it's like Nordic, original Old English, which is Germanic, and heavy influence from Latin and French, which itself is a bastardized version of Latin. Although there are some like indigenous influences, like Celtic. I'm not sure now that I say it if Celtic is an Indo-European language. It probably is. I think there is some influence from basically Welsh and Celtic, but it's
Right.
very it's minimal because despite the
Mostly
population
German and
being
Latin.
yeah, it was like a low prestige language, and if it's a low prestige language, there are usually very few loan words, but not the other way around. Like it's a robust, I don't know, linguistic psychological fact that if it's high prestige, then lots of loan words will happen. But if it's
Right.
low prestige, like never happens the other way around. Like in Russian, we have like a myriad of loan
Oh
words. from
yeah, I'm sure all the different mother tongues of Slavic people.
Yeah. But if Russians were to come to English, like you Brits, saying to an American, but yeah, you Brits wouldn't learn many words from Russian.
Right.
2 elephants come out, which is cool.
Elephant's very cool unit.
Yeah, they have light armor, meaning they are very squishy when it comes to piercing damage, and you can easily kite with them. They shoot projectiles every 7 seconds or so, regardless of the fact what they are doing. They can be stunned or facing in the other direction. They will still shoot it. Super cool model made entirely by Diazon, by the way. So shout out to him. He's
Very
probably
cool.
not watching, but if he were,
Maybe one day.
yeah. He resides in Japan. That's why he has a very inconvenient time slot for all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So 44 against 43. Also frostbitten only now makes the lumber.
2,500 gold
Yeah.
and no wood, unfortunately.
Yeah, only now making the research, and as with the gold, I think frostbitten needs to invest into some items.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to do. Or maybe finally put those arcane sancta, grail sancta rather, to good use and build some truth sayers.
He's
which
got
is
the
exactly what
first
we do
2
now.
coming out.
Yeah.
First
The timing
one on
to
the
attack is
battlefield.
right now for Razermoon, but he's creeping unfortunately. And if the granddads manage to get their numbers up, it will be really hard to fight them off even if you have 70 supply. Especially without piercing damage, because elephants right now are not the only unit who's gonna get countered partly by heavily by piercing damage.
Right, they've got the... So does the bolts do magic damage that they shoot?
Yeah. It's the Phoenix mechanic.
Right. Spell damage then.
Research complete.
Yeah. Yeah, so is it 3 truth sayers are up? Something apart from me to pronounce. So many S's and the
See the Fen Beasts coming out. It's gonna be tough for the Fen Beasts to go down, honestly. They're gonna be pretty tanky against... No piercing damage though, so it's gonna be kind of a wet noodle fight for a while.
Yeah, so right now everything is going exactly as Frostbitten would hope it to. So the Fen Beasts and the Night Summons that are soaking up the
Real
damage
Knight's
on the
coming
front
out.
line, whereas the castle is shooting. and the truth stairs are shooting from the back. So everything's working perfectly for Frostbitten, and despite the fact that it's 94 now versus 50, still Razermoon is having a hard time destroying. Okay, now that I said that he killed a hero, which is cool, and a lot of elephants still remain, but the castle is very tanky to take down, and it shoots projectiles all this time. If villages garrison into it, it's gonna shoot even harder.
Oh, another hero goes down. And the fourth, it was just...
Yeah, Frostbitten losing everything.
But
So-
now there's the third...
The
Yeah.
amount of towers is obscene, and the
Sorry.
damage that these towers do to elephants is also obscene. And yeah, the fact that there are two devas means that at least 6 elephants have died.
That's what
because
I was
every
trying to
third-
say.
Yeah, every third elephant death transforms into a deva. And the granddads are,
They're holding. He's gonna hold.
yeah, they're half alive at least. So yeah, despite how strong this push looked for a time, Britain is not out of it. Albion endures to fight another day. I imagine how pissed Razermoon was at this point, especially if he had seen that at one time it was like 94 versus
It's 50.
and now
Yeah. 60 to 46.
yeah, one shouldn't siege elephants. Use elephants as siege, units versus castles and towers and the town hall. I'm not sure if it works like that in Age of Empires. I honestly
No,
don't know.
no, I think elephants
think-
are generally pretty good siege units.
They take extra damage from like pikemen and halberdiers, if I recall correctly, but not from piercing. Here they take
Yeah.
extra damage from piercing. So mass piercing versus castles. Yeah, no, please use siege units to siege castles, or at least mass melee. This is Warcraft. So yeah, it doesn't work that well for Razermoon. Unfortunately, I think it's less to do with Britonia being overpowered. It's just that he tried to, in rock paper scissors, it's as if he was trying to counter rock with scissors. Even though he had way more scissors than there were rocks, it still didn't go too well for him. So I think it's mostly fair. Now the population caps are equal. A little bit confusing that Paladin and Marksman have the same icons. I was ever so slightly lazy to make 2 separate icons for them. In hindsight, I suppose I should have. But since I made it like 5 years ago, I didn't know how big the mod would become. And so by that time's player base, I suppose, it was not that big of a deal. So an expo on bottom right for Razermoon. Razermoon will have the slight disadvantage of his gold mines expiring earlier. Names, by the way, are you here? You've been silent for a while.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I muted my microphone a while ago to talk to my wife, and then I forgot to unmute it. I apologize. I've been talking to myself this whole time. Thought you were ignoring me.
Ah.
No, it was really. I was
No
just. I was saying the same thing. I was literally just said the same thing about the expo in the bottom right.
Well, great minds think alike, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, I was commenting on the elephants, and they're good at some things, and they're not good at others. And like, it definitely seems like they, like if they don't, they can just be like walking XP tombs if you push them into the wrong army. Like see, look at all these archers that he's got now. The peasant bowmen.
Excellent counterplay from Frostbitten.
Yeah.
So peasant bowmen, they're very weak. They have 7 to 8 damage, only 500 range, and it's not upgradable. 220 HP. But they shred elephants if you have them in large enough numbers.
They come out
And-
fast.
Yeah, and I think it's quite the problem from Razermoon that he doubled down on elephants. something which worked for him like last series versus Cement, or what was it? And in this
Yes,
scenario, it doesn't work. You have to adjust because it's an arms race. It's like a rock, paper, scissors thing. If your opponent makes scissors, you shouldn't, double down on, the paper.
Perhaps we're seeing, Razermoon's unfamiliarity with the mod kind of handicapping him a little bit here.
Yep.
Definitely, Frostbitten is he explores the mod pretty in depth. So
That he does, for sure.
it's probably his biggest strength in this competition. Is even compared to Inspired knows a lot about the mod, maybe more than most people, but Frostbitten seems to even have the tricks that Inspired doesn't have. So
Yeah, they also have great decision making. So I know the
absolutely,
mod better than anyone, but my decision making is crap, so it doesn't help me all
it's
too
true.
much.
It's a myriad of skills it takes to be
Yeah, for
successful.
sure.
Not to say anything, his micro is really good as well. Like,
5 Granddad, some Pegasi. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce that now.
Pegasi?
Yeah. Pegasus Knights, that's what I'm gonna call them.
Yes.
And
Pluralize the knights.
yeah, I feel like this is gonna be the final engagement of the map, because Frostbitten is so dominant. 2 Devas spawn, meaning 6 elephants have gone down recently.
Doesn't seem
And-
like, there's much that...
Yeah, Razermoon just gets his ass handed to him fighting in the main base of the Bretonnian. Town Center does plus 25 damage with each attack, so this means that there are like 9 workers garrisoned in it, and also split shots into 7 projectiles, or something.
Very powerful, especially when they're in the area in between the main and the castle, taking damage from both.
Yeah, this is just, bad tactics from Razermoon. Okay, the
Oh,
heroes
he
start going down.
charms the... or not charm, but control magics the Davis Shield Breaker.
Yeah, and that's the one which was supposed to represent Sensei. So very
Yes.
metaphorical that even the mighty Sensei realized the folly of their ways and switched their allegiance to the Truthsayers, who with their voice of command, which is the real spell name from Truthsayers, by the way,
Very cool.
they use the voice of command to change the ownership of Deva. And Razermoon, I think, is trying to use the glyph, but doesn't have enough resources, so is having a little bit of trouble with it. And now uses the altar.
Our town is under
Expo
attack.
goes down, although it was only 49 seconds of mining left.
Left. Still has the bottom right.
Yeah. So some gurus are being added, and they would have been helpful before, to just like Razermoon has excellent micro. He has 437 APM as of right now, so
Very good.
he could have just used gurus twice to grant plus 3 armor to like all of his elephants and minus 3 armor to all of
Right.
army of Frostbitten, so it would have been very effective.
Just garrison his leader in the castle.
I don't think you can do so. You can only
Where'd it
garrison.
go? Oh, it teleported back or something.
Yeah, I think you can stop them. That's true. And
Well,
they
he's
stop too.
staffed. Is it staffed only for a little bit or something? It seems like he staffed it, bought a TP scroll, and then brought his army back.
May happen. I'm not tremendously sure, but I don't think it was a bug. A second Deva is converted by Truthsayers. They can only convert units if they have full mana. Oh, sorry, if they have less than 50 HP on the unit. So now we see plus 3 armor on War Elephants. It's probably a little bit too late, because Frostbitten has been so dominant lately. The expos are almost empty of Frostbitten though, so maybe if Razermoon can survive a little bit longer. I don't think he should be fighting. He should definitely have had some piercing units to take care of the granddads.
Diversified his army a little bit.
Yeah.
Our town is under attack.
Now it's Frostbitten's time to push, and I didn't realize that
Main base
Sensei
mined
was
out
down.
for Frostbitten as
Sensei
well.
was down this entire time. What the hell?
The Sensei was down. Oh yeah, he's been down for a while. He tried to revive him with the stone, but couldn't.
No, this is definitely some big mistake from Razermoon. Like he screwed up. So yeah, unfortunately, this looks like GG. If only Sensei were here, it would have been quite a bit easier. But right now, the Fen Beasts are storming.
Yeah.
Elephants walking in from the back, and some gurus, but it's like the army composition of
Calls
Frostbitten is
GG.
just too good. GG, such was the first game. Very exciting performance, very long game. So let's finish the series and see.
Take a break
What-
maybe after that.
Yeah. What our mood is. So
Game B.
71B then. Yep.
Ready to work.
Okay,
No,
apparently we have
ready.
someone in chat. We have had someone in chat
Oh.
this entire time.
I don't have the chat window up.
Yeah, Alexander, if you're still here with us. And Netty Girl who looks like a bot to be honest, and Alexander who does not.
Yes, unfortunately. Sorry, Alexander. Chat was dead, indeed. Wonder if I can get it. Always so surprised to see people in chat.
Yeah, we'll have some following after a while.
You know?
I think we maybe we should have advertised to Campset. Although I think
yeah.
he's offline. Campset, if you're hearing this in the future on YouTube, just letting you know that I'm wishing you a nice day and all the rest of it.
Have a great
Nice
day.
to-
Come
Yep.
set.
As is everyone else listening to this.
Yes, of course. Whether we know you by name or not, we're glad you're tuning in. And
Yeah.
we're sorry if our engagement, if we're more into the game than the chat. But we're still figuring this out a little bit, and I'm not sure how to get the chat overlay while I stream the game at the same time. So it is what
That's
it is.
okay. Yeah. To be honest, we're mostly doing it for YouTube, for the future generations.
This is true. It's to
Yeah.
just preserve for posterity.
Yeah. Feel free to unpause, by the way, because I'm ready.
Let me see Dogs of War again from Razermoon and Dark Elves from Frostbitten.
Yep. It's a little bit confusing for me because their colors are almost the same, but I'll handle it. Because blue displays as purple for me, so it's dark purple versus light purple. That's fine. We have Frostbitten playing as Dark Elves, again seeing them.
Ready to work.
A very interesting race. I was trying, like, I was wondering if I could make the slave economy work with, the very inefficient workers, and it took me quite a while. It's maybe ever so slightly cheesy that the workers are invulnerable. I kind of thought to myself, maybe all the Warhammer races would
Ready to
find it,
work.
ignoble to kill slaves. Like if you're a Core Knight champion, you're not supposed to, I don't know, fall as low as to
Yeah,
kill,
that's fair. Only
warriors.
warriors.
Yeah, who cannot even fight back. Maybe less so with Skaven. Skaven, I think, would never have any problems killing anyone whatsoever.
Some of the
But
lizard units that are just, giant lizards.
Ready to work.
yeah, also some beasts like they wouldn't
Research
be
in the hand.
smart enough to recognize who's slave, who's not slave. But for balance purposes, I thought to myself, what the hell? Like, games like this are never 100% realistic, to put it mildly. So,
Ready to work.
some things will always remain, metaphorical. So, for whichever reason, slaves are metaphorically
Ready to work.
unkillable by regular armies, although they die of their own accord, and if slave
Ready
masters
to
are
work.
around, their dying process is greatly slowed. They are very inefficient at mining, quite efficient actually at lumber harvesting because they take 0 food, so you can have loads of them. I remember the first time I realized how cool it looks to have, slave masters patrolling and hordes of human slaves, just
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
looks very lore fitting, I gotta say. The Dark Elven base. So I like it. I think in the end, Dark Elves have turned out quite interesting, I would say. They're quite unique, but also play mostly like Warhammer. Sorry, like Warcraft. So they're not particularly underpowered or overpowered. So I kind of like it all. I'm super curious to see how they will do in the next patch. By the way, do you want to turn off the replay by tapping R?
Oh yeah, thanks.
I'm curious how the next patch the elves will, what they will do. How strong are they? Because I basically stole 500 gold from them, which is for reasons of them being so inefficient with their gold. I just kind of decided that okay, I'll bite the bullet, and although it doesn't make much sense, I'm just gonna give them 500 extra gold to begin the game with. And right now this bonus is revoked, so no longer happens. Starting next patch, they will start with the amount of gold that everyone else does. So 500 gold, 150 wood. Frostbitten employing the same Corsair, Riptide, and Raid strat.
Yes, Cement used it pretty effectively against Inspired for the most part.
Yeah, to be honest, I always go for the Death Hag. I feel like she's so cool. I just like the sound of her, using the Shadow Dagger thing, and then this passive spell, which actually is not working, and I would have never been able to spot it had it not been for Cement.
Oh, awesome!
But-
Good job, Cement.
Yeah. And I remade it into, getting progressively more and more
Research finished.
aggressive with lumber penalty. So I really like it now. I did like it before, but the spell was bugged by Blizzard. Now it's even better, arguably. So it's like whenever
cool.
you strike, there's a chance to apply -2 armor, which stacks up to -10. This is how the bloodshed poison will work in the subsequent patch. And the players are harassing each other bases. I suppose this is not the most Warhammer thing ever. Like, you're supposed to fight in the open or something. in my mod,
Yeah, fair.
it so often happens that players, just harass each other's bases, trying to kill each other's peasants.
Research finished.
Maybe if I feel like I've had enough. Although, to be honest, I don't want to make such drastic changes, but maybe all workers should grant 0 XP always. Like, this would make it so less worthwhile. I don't know. But then the pacing of heroes.
Oh, and people, you're just gonna have weird ass militia rushes and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's also possible. This time, Razermoon TP's out at the last possible second. So well calculated from him.
Respects it more.
Yeah, despite having some ping issues, without a doubt, the two players are really far away from each other. I'm not sure exactly where Frostbitten is from. I do know that his time belt is +2 from me, so from Moscow. So it's probably the Urals. not exactly Siberia, but you know, halfway to Siberia.
Hmm.
So they're basically half the globe away from one another. So
Yeah.
no matter where the server is, probably somewhere in Dublin, it's gonna be not tremendously
Research
close to
basic
either of them. So well timed from our professional player Razermoon. I'm looking forward to seeing him in Dortmund again this year. It's really cool that he's able to afford to fly from Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
Summoning is
Yeah.
on the job. Our town is under attack.
It's like there's a full wall off from Razermoon right now, so not able to get to the juicy P online.
Yeah,
He'll settle
But
for
he'll
just burning down.
the tents. Yeah, the tents completely are shredded by melee damage of Corsairs and Dread Spears. Also, it's cool to see Dread Spears utilizing the range. Normally in Warcraft, all of the melee units have the same attack range.
Yeah.
But here, yeah, I've taken the liberty of, you know, granting some extra range to Spearmen. Because, to be honest, it would look weird if it weren't the case. So yeah, an absolute massacre at Razermoon's base.
Grabs a bunch of slaves.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a gimmicky mechanic, like it doesn't do much from the standpoint of, you know, offense. It is helpful for defending because you have higher enslavement chance under slave pits. So it's mostly meant as a base defense mechanism. If Frostbitten hadn't used it, it would have been the same, the result. But yeah, now what I was talking about.
Base
the
trade.
freaking
Just
base
they're just
trades.
gonna pull in base trade again.
Yeah, not the most Warhammer thing ever, I suppose, but what can I do? So lots of samurai, lots of pikemen, and their sensei, and they're all trying to shred the base of the Dark Elven player. Looks like they won't actually be able to do it on time.
Does have his expansion up and running now as well, both players, so
I think maybe Razermoon miscalculated the fact that storage is actually very squishy. It has only 1100 HP,
Yeah.
which is at least 400 less than what a main would have. Also, it's very hard for Dark Elves to repair. They need an upgrade. So if he focused the storage, it would have granted him something. Although there's a second storage nearby.
and
now the fight
the
commences.
nets come in and
Yeah,
Razermoon
then that
calls
fight
it.
did not go well for GG, and he calls GG, and this was his run in the upper bracket. The upper bracket final is Frostbitten's.
wow, Frostbitten, definitely a bit of an upsetter there.
Yeah, excellent plays from him. He eliminated Dice, and now he eliminates his apprentice. The two are friends in real life. I'm happy to be able to call them friends also of mine. Unlike me, they play decent Warcraft, but at least I can have fun and hang around those wonderful people. Nice,
Yeah.
nice to be a viewer.
And I'm happy to, you know, help stream and, you know, these guys are, it's fun to watch them. You know, I've watched them play for some of these players for years, and it's very cool to see them out here battling it out in Altered Melee. It's been a fun time hanging out with y'all.
Yep. Likewise. Do you want to take maybe a short break and then maybe cast one more series? Is that all right?
I think I'm gonna need like an hour break, and then I have to do
Okay,
some.
sure.
I have to do one thing for like work. So
Excellent. Yeah, it's super nice having you. And thanks a lot for casting.
yeah, of course. Thanks for joining me. It's always fun to do this with you.
The pleasure is mine. It's been a huge project, like a passion project from me for many years, and I never thought I would reach such heights. And it's I'm very happy to be here and happy about all of the activity. Even if we don't have many viewers, we still have a dedicated following, and that's the most important part, I suppose.
We sure do, and eventually, I'm sure we'll expand. And Grubby, Turin, if you ever want to join me or take over, happy to have you guys. So Maybe one day we'll get you on here again.
Yeah, yeah. Super cool. All right, lads. Then we shall take a break, and sometime in the future we shall return.
All right, and the other videos from day 1 and 2 should be uploaded to YouTube now, I believe. So let me try to get that link around, because I had started it before we started streaming. So hopefully it's done now.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you
Super
soon, Nightmare. I'll hit you up when I'm ready.
Sure. Take care, all.
Take care, everybody. Bye bye.